Hello Year 5. Today I'm going to read you a short story which is going to be a writing prompt, and then you're going to do a piece of writing. We had a lot of non-fiction in term 2, and then the last couple of weeks we had a lot of poetry. So I just thought for a change we'd have a short story and you can write a short story. Now the story I'm reading you is about somebody who pranks their parents, or somebody who plays a joke on their parent. And I am not suggesting you do this to your parents, of course. Don't say Miss Vicky said I have to do this for homework, okay? Right, I'm going to read you the story called A Mouthful. It's by an Australian author, Paul Jennings. I've got it on paper. You will find that on Google Classroom, okay? Now, because it's a tiny font, I'm going to have to wear my glasses. It's the first time I've worn them on camera, so here we go. A Mouthful by Paul Jennings. Parents are embarrassing. Take my dad. Every time a friend comes to stay the night, he does something that makes my face go red. Now don't get me wrong. He is a terrific dad. I love him, but sometimes I think he will never grow up. He loves playing practical jokes. This behaviour first starts the night Anna comes to sleep over. Unknown to me, Dad sneaks into my room and puts Duna, our cat, on the spare bed. Duna loves sleeping on beds. What cat doesn't? Next day, Dad unwraps a little package that he has bought at the magic shop. Do you know what's in it? Can you believe this? It is a little piece of brown plastic cat poo. Pretend cat poo. Anyway, he puts this piece of cat poo on Anna's pillow and pulls up the blankets. Then he tiptoes out and closes the door. I do not know any of this is happening. Anna and I are sitting up late watching videos. We eat chips covered in sauce and drink 2 whole bottles of Diet Coke. Finally, we decide to go to bed. Anna takes ages and ages cleaning her teeth. She's one of those kids who are into health. She has a thing about germs. She always places paper on the toilet seat before she sits down. She is so clean. Anyway, she puts on her nightclothes and gets ready for bed. Then she pulls back the blankets. Suddenly, she sees the bit of plastic cat poo. Ooh, ooh! She screams, oh look, disgusting, foul! Look what the cat's done to my pillow! Suddenly, Dad bursts into the room. What's up, girls? He says with a silly grin on his face. What's all the fuss about? Anna is pulling a terrible face. Look, she says in horror as she points at the pillow. Dad goes over and examines the plastic poo. Ha! Don't let a little thing like that worry you, he says. He picks up the plastic poo, pops it in his mouth. He gives a grin. Mmm, delicious, he says through clenched teeth. Ah! Screams Anna. She rushes over to the window and throws up chips, sauce, and Diet Coke. Then she looks at Dad in disgust. Dad is a bit taken aback at Anna being sick. It's okay, he says, taking the plastic poo out of his mouth. It's not real. Dad gives a laugh and off he goes. And off goes Anna. She decides that she wants to go home to her own house, and I don't blame her. Dad, I yell after Anna is gone, I am never speaking to you again. Don't be such a drama queen, he says. It's only a little joke. It's always the same. Whenever a friend comes over to stay, Dad plays practical jokes. We have fake hands in the rubbish, exploding drinks, pepper in the food, short-sheeted beds, and Dracula's blood seeping out of Dad's mouth. Some of the kids think it's great. They wish their dad were like mine. But I hate it. I just wish he were normal. He plays tricks on Bianca, and Yasmin, and Now, and Carla. None of them go home like Anna, but each time I am so embarrassed. And now I'm worried. Cynthia is coming to stay. She is the school captain. She is beautiful. She is smart. Everyone wants to be her friend. And now she is sleeping over at our house. Dad, I say, no practical jokes. Cynthia is very mature. Her father would never play practical jokes. She might not understand. Don't worry, says Dad. Cynthia arrives, but we do not watch videos. We slave away on our English homework. We plan our speeches for the debate in the morning. We go over our parts in the school play. After all that, we go out and practice baskets, because Cynthia is captain of the basketball team. Every now and then I pop into the bedroom to check for practical jokes. It's best to be safe on the safe side. We also do the washing up after dinner because Cynthia offers, yes, offers to do it. Finally, it's time for bed. Cynthia changes into her nightclothes in the bathroom and then comes into the bedroom. The cat's on my bed, she says. But it doesn't matter, I like cats. She pulls back the blankets and screams, ah, cat poo, filthy cat poo on my pillow. She yells and yells and yells. Just then, Dad bursts into the room with a big grin on his face. He goes over and looks at the brown object on the pillow. Ha! Don't let a little thing like that worry you, he says. He picks it up and pops it into his mouth. But this time he does not give a grin. His face freezes over. Are you looking for this? I say. I hold up the bit of plastic poo that Dad had hidden under the blankets earlier that night. Dad looks at the cat. Then he rushes over to the window and is sick. Cynthia and I laugh like mad. We do love a good joke. So, do you get what happened? They replaced the plastic cat poo with actual real cat poo, and that's what the dad put in his mouth. Did you like that story? I love it. If you see any of the stories from Paul Jennings in a bookshop or online, read them. He's really funny. Okay, now, so for your writing, I want you to write a piece about a time that you pranked somebody. You played a practical joke on them, you did something silly, okay? I don't want a story where anybody gets hurt, or something funny, light-hearted, okay? If you really haven't done this to anybody or nobody's done it to you, then you just have to make something up, okay? There's a writing prompt which will be on Google Classroom, which is behind me, okay? I'll just read that quickly with you. So these are things you need to think of. And of course you're going to write on a piece of paper and then scan it and upload it and send it back to your teacher. So you're going to write a short story about the time that you played a trick on someone or you pranked someone. We only want to hear stories that have a funny ending in which no one got hurt. If you cannot think of a real story, then you can make one up. Here are some points for you to consider. You need paragraphs. You need capital letters and full stops in the right place. Absolutely. Okay, you should be doing that by now. You could try and use other types of punctuation, question marks, exclamation marks, commas, speech marks, colons. You will be writing in the past tense because this story has already taken place. Include some speech, but not too much, otherwise it turns into a play script, okay? And remember, when you use direct speech, you need to start a new line when a new person speaks. You put the actual words inside the speech marks, and at the end of the speech, before you close the speech marks, you need some punctuation, a comma, a full stop, a question mark, or an exclamation mark. You can tell us something about the characters. We learned that Cynthia was the school captain and was good at everything, so you can tell us about the characters in it. We found out that Dad has a good sense of humour. Describe where the prank or the practical joke took place, so set the scene. We know this takes place in her house, in her bedroom. Use wow words to make your story interesting for the reader, so lots of synonyms, don't use the same word again and again. Some good, exciting adjectives. Try and start your sentences in different ways, not just Dad said, I said, we said. And if you can, use some time connectives, so later, the next morning, the next day, after a few minutes, okay? So, read the story again if you need to. That's just to get you kind of use some ideas, and then find the writing prompt and do your piece of writing. So that's all for today, and I'll talk to you again soon.